Let's go walk through my garden. We'll go see my pigs, my sheep, a couple projects I'm working on, or some videos I haven't edited or put out yet, and I'll talk about a couple of those things. So let's look at the garden. So most everything has transitioned over to summer. My wife still has a few of her Asian greens going. We got to try those this year. She did choy sum, she did bok choy. This is like a, I forgot what this was called, like a purple tatsoi or a Chinese mustard. That's what it is, Chinese mustard. It reminded me of tatsoi a little bit, which is something I grew extensively in San Diego. There's a couple like really cabbages we planted late out of winter that, you know, we can get leaves off of. Then over here, we've got a few basil plants and potatoes coming up in here that were extras. Dill. And then we've got some hot peppers here. My wife she really likes saving seeds, so she's letting this go to seed so she can collect it. These are more hot peppers. So we've got jalapeno, cayenne, Thai hot peppers as well. Let's see, it looks like there's a couple okras in there. Squash. These last few beds, guys, these were ones that I did for my cover cropping video, and I just finally knocked these down. So back here, I knocked down the cover crop with a crimp and a tarp. Was able to plant, you know, almost 2 months sooner. The ones in the beds were part of the experiment to show what happens when you crimp the cover crop at the correct time and you put soil on top of it. Well, it doesn't come back. That's because you wait until the plant goes to seed. It's putting all that energy into its seed. So it's effective. So I'll be showing that in a future YouTube video, like all those techniques and how that they work, so you can decide which one you need to do. Here's our biggest zucchini plant right now. And let's see here. If you didn't know, there are male and female flowers on a zucchini. This is a male flower. This is, whatever. This is eaten in Mexican cuisine all the time. They deep fry these things, eat them. They make, they'll mix it with like corn tortilla flour, make like a squash flour tortilla. So I've never had those. I just had customers tell me about them when I was selling squash at the market. These are yard long beans. I believe it's an Asian bean that's a very long bean my wife wanted to try. Now we're getting into stuff that needs a trellis. This is a honeydew. I've never grown a melon on a trellis, but I wanted to try it this year. So this is a trellised area that will be trellised. Just haven't done it yet. And I'm going to trellis it with a new way this year using EMT conduit on a special product I'm going to show you in a minute. So Korean cucumbers. And so guys, like, you can just grow cucumbers on the ground. You don't have to trellis them, but you do get nicer fruit. And same thing on a cucumber, like a squash, is in the Cucurbitaceae family. This also has male and female flowers. So the female flower has the unfertilized fruit attached to it. The squash will also have that. Sometimes you'll see squash that will not get pollinated, and this fruit will just fall off and die, and that's happening because it didn't get pollinated. The male flower will just be a flower all by itself, like this one is. See how there's no fruit attached to that? That's the male flower. That's a good thing if you've never learned that before. Watermelons are the same way as well. We got garlic here, guys. This is almost ready. I've seen some people have been harvesting their garlics. We're waiting till about 50% of the leaves are dried off and dead. Now, I did see one the other day. Yeah, see, like this one, you will have a couple that'll just die sooner, and you can pull them up. So there you go. It's a decent size head. That was a small one. We're gonna have some monsters in here like that one. Can't wait to pull that one up. I put a few elephant garlics in here. The rest were like red garlic, soft neck, I believe. Okay, now we're getting into some more trellised area. These are all my tomatoes. If you don't know how to find a tomato sucker, go watch my video. It's like how to prune indeterminate tomatoes. Become a tomato pruning pro is the thumbnail. But they're looking great. We got to get a trellis on them. And then we've got the corn here. Corn's looking fantastic. And we planted this 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. I figured out that here in my area, I'm zone 7B, but you know, there's always microclimates. I figured out that basically if I plant the first or second week of May here in Tennessee, I'm completely safe. Like I'm not gonna, there basically won't be a frost by then. The last frost will hit us if it is in the first or second week of May, and we can look at our weather apps a week or two out to kind of get an idea. So if you're around my latitude, that tip may help you. Now these last 4 beds we just created, this is lasagna method. None of these had cardboard under there. I know a lot of people are concerned about, oh, I don't have the cardboard. Well, if you're putting straw under there and then soil on top of that, I found that's basically just as effective, and straw is a lot easier to acquire. So use straw, not hay. Straw has no seeds. Hay has seeds. So if you want hay seed growing in your garden beds, go ahead for it. So now we got artichoke, different types of artichoke. Here is asparagus that we put in the ground. It hasn't come up yet. I put it in kind of late. We left it in the fridge because we were still building these. So this is going to be more of a perennial bed setup. One of these, I forgot, I think it's this one, has potatoes. And what we'll do with the potatoes, this is a growing back to Eden technique, or that's the video where I saw it, where Paul Gauschti, I forgot how you say his last name, he, when he does his potatoes, he'll harvest them all and then he'll throw one potato back in the hole. And then that will grow another potato, either before that winter, which I may try to do with the potatoes I get from this. I could let them seed out and then see if I get one more quick harvest before the winter frost comes, or I save them over winter and plant again in spring. Here are sweet potatoes, potato bed. So we still have this one bed left that I need to plant. I've got some transplants and stuff that might go in there. But I want to just show you guys, like, my gardening, or what I'm growing, has changed significantly, even over last year too. We're really trying to focus in on and grow the things that we eat all the time. Ooh, so the one that I need to plant then is carrots. Carrots are what we don't have. I did a lot of bulb onions this year. I'm sure, like your family, onions and carrots, potatoes. We eat that constantly. So I'm trying to get really good at growing them. Well, I'm already really good at carrots and stuff, but getting really good at potatoes, figuring out how to save that seed so that I can do it the next spring. I've never tried to save my own potatoes through to that next year and then plant them again. I'm going to be practicing that with the garlic as well. So if you guys have followed me for any amount of time or seen different things I say about what's going on in the world, these things are incredibly important, and things that we need to practice more. So saving seed, propagating tubers, and propagating any plant, really just keep getting better at those skills, and it's gonna pay off in huge amounts for you. And focus on plants that are going to produce a lot of calories. And then let's see, the last thing, the garden that I did, there's a couple grapes right here. I'm gonna set up a grape trellis. That's going to go all the way this way, but you're also seeing some other plants that I put in. So I've got some different random squash, watermelons, honeydews. There's some winter squash in here, and this I planted out with a special tool we'll go see right now, and it changed the game for me for planting. Like, this is the best planting ever. I planted all my trees with it. I did my posts for my fence with it. I almost want to buy another one just in case, because it's so useful. So anyways, all that's in that hole is minerals, microbes, and then a whole bunch of compost. Look, these are annuals, so with my growing method, I'm totally okay with just dumping compost in a hole and growing in it. With a tree, you would never do that. You use the native soil. That is a video that I've shot that I have not edited. I've been extremely busy just setting up this property. So I apologize for not getting out a YouTube video. So all the chickens are doing great. The barred rocks, that one right there, those are the baby chicks that I raised this year. That one is a rooster. And I've got 2 extra roosters. I'll be keeping one of them for sure. The other one will become dinner. And yeah, they've been doing great. They're just, this coop has been working out fantastic. It's 24 birds. And these guys are almost full size now. 25 birds are fitting in an 8x4 dog kennel. So for $250, you got yourself a permanent animal enclosure. I've been very happy with this. And some people were confused, like, oh, why'd you build such a crappy coop and blah, blah, blah. Well, because I wanted to show another way to do this. Most people can't build the coop that I built in San Diego. And it would be really expensive, especially nowadays with wood prices and all the prices of everything. That coop probably would cost $2,000 to build now. It only cost me a little over $1,000 when I built it. But that's not accessible to everybody, and not everybody has those skills. This can just be bought and built, and it's metal, so it lasts forever. So anyways, that's why I'm really stoked on this. And you know, a lot of the things that I show you guys, I'm showing you guys to show you guys techniques or other ways to do things, or I'm not always trying to show you the optimal best way, because that's not always possible for me, either because of money or time or labor or whatever it may be. And it's much better to show you guys many different ways of doing something so that you can choose the best way to do it for yourself. So we're walking down to animals, and I just wanted to show you guys this. It's the first part of my high tensile fence. It's all finished, and then there's an elderberry. I'm loving the high tensile. It's been a gigantic project to do this. We're fencing in about 7 acres. We're on the last part of just adding this wire. This is one of the reasons I haven't been posting YouTube videos, is I've just been busy trying to get all these farm projects done. But super stoked on it. I just can't wait. So this whole wooded area is going to be fenced, and then the whole outer field will be fenced. We're going over to my sheep right now, which are in the woods. I just had my whole entire field hayed, and now it's regrowing, right? And I just sprayed out some Jadam microbial solution, which is a microbial inoculant that you can make for only a few dollars. And I poured out about 100 gallons of that out in the field before it rained, soaked it in. So I'm very excited to be doing some of these Korean natural, Jadam and Korean natural farming techniques on this field, rotational grazing, and we're gonna show the evidence of that working. I just took some soil samples I need to send off to a lab. Here we go with the sheep, okay. So in here, we've got all my 8 sheep, and that is Koei. You may or may not have seen him. If you follow me on Instagram, you've definitely seen him. So he is now in with the sheep permanently. He was living in the barn and figuring things out, and I was teaching him about the electric, but now he's in here with the sheep. He's doing great. He's got his dog food. He just drinks from the sheep's water. And yeah, sheep don't actually have to live on only grass. They can eat the leaves of trees, and especially young saplings. They're incredibly nutritious. So it's really fun getting them in here and watching them clear things out. They just went through this. 2 days ago, if I would have shown the camera, I wouldn't be able to see through. So it's really neat watching the style of disturbance that they do. And they're really going to open this up. So now let's go look at the pigs. So one of the goals with putting up that perimeter fence, besides just having more safety, security, is that it's going to change the way that I move my animals. Because of that perimeter fence, if they ever get out of the nets, or what I want to change to is just a single or double line, if they ever got out, they're still within the perimeter, so it's not a big deal. The electric is really just for forcing them to graze where I want them to. And that way I can get the manure load and urine load on the certain areas that I want. I'm not going to overgraze. Most people out here in Tennessee, or most people who are raising ruminant animals, unfortunately, they have like a huge 800 acre field or 100 acre pasture or whatever it is, and they just let the cows sit in that forever, all the time, and then they'll feed hay in certain areas in the winter. But if you look at their fields are garbage. They don't grow grass. They're growing weeds. They're growing, and it's because of their management style. And if they would change that, but they don't care, because they're just like cow-calf operations. They sell the cow to the feedlot where it gets fed the GMO corn. They make $500 a cow, and they just don't care because they have another business or some other way that they make money. And one of the things about moving to Tennessee is I got to see and experience a lot more big ag stuff and how it really works. And all I gotta say is grow your own food, because like one of the guys I just I got to be on his huge 350 horsepower tractor, and he was telling me, you know, we own a construction company, and that's where, you know, our family makes all our money from that. We don't even need to farm. We don't even need this land. We don't need, we only farm this for the tax benefits, so we can own all this land and keep that wealth in our family. So that to me was like, whoa, wait a second. So you don't even need to grow this food. So like if the price got too high to grow the soybean or the corn, you just wouldn't do it, right? No, we wouldn't do it. It wouldn't make sense anymore. We would just pay the taxes at that point, or sell the land, or whatever. So American farmland's in a very precarious situation if that's the case. So anyways, you guys, yeah, I know I keep stressing it, but man, you got to get animal protein if you can. Do eggs. If you can just have eggs and veggies, it's a game changer. You can raise chickens in such a small area, so I just really encourage you to make that happen this year. Trust me, you're gonna thank me. Okay, there they are. So these are, let's see, this one is 50-50 Duroc and Mangalitsa. This is from Cliff Davis's pig. Rambo, that's the male. The female is from Blake Reimer over at Tennessee Mountain Farm. And you know, that breed combination is really cool just because the Duroc's a more lean animal. The Mangalitsa is a really high fat, like lard style pig. So the combo, I think, is going to be pretty cool when we open them up. This one is a 75 Duroc, 25 Mangalitsa. And you know, they've been great pigs. They've grown out really well so far. Moving them has been very easy. So yeah, just, you know, like my other pigs, they were really fantastic. And they're, you know, they're a little jumpy, but I definitely say my last pigs were more friendly. They were like, I think it's just because the other farmer was rubbing on them all the time and showing them love constantly. But these guys, I can touch them. They're just a little bit more shy. So yeah, this is the disturbance that they do in here. They just came from that spot, and I threw a cover crop down, of course, barley, and then just some other random, like my true leaf cover crop mix. I threw a little bit of that in, and come fall, I will be seeding this whole area out with grasses. So like perennial grasses and clover and things like that. So this will become a silvopastured area. So that's when you're combining trees and grasses and animals in one area. So I'm very excited. So we'll have about 7 acres of grass at some point for my sheep. So I cannot wait. So this is like kind of the project over the next year, is getting all that going. I'm gonna finish the fence soon here. And then the next part is planning out the future farm here and what I'm gonna do there. So I think I'll stop the video almost at 20 minutes, and hope that you enjoyed getting to see this exclusive little tour of my farm and kind of what's going on. Oh wait, PS. I'm adding a PS to this. Let's go see those cool tools I was talking about. Okay guys, here we are with Maker Pipe. So what this is EMT conduit, which is a very common thing used to build DIY greenhouses or little polytunnel structures. This is a made in America product. Galvanized metal there, and then basically you combine, it allows you to connect 2 EMTs together and build basically any type of structure. Right here I've got a 45, and I'm making basically a pyramid structured shade structure for my sheep. So it's just going to be made out of this PVC plastic and the EMT, and so that's another video I'm working on right now. So you guys check out Maker Pipe. You can build anything with this. and it's like, it's EMT, so it's gonna last forever. These people contact me, I was like, oh my gosh, this solves so many problems that I've had trying to build certain things. So really cool. Check out MakerPipe, guys. And then the other tool, this is that planting tool that I was telling you guys about. Here, it's called the Landworks electric auger. I got it on Amazon for 270 bucks about a month ago, and it was on sale. Now it's like 450, which, I mean, it's still worth it at that price, I think. This is the 6-inch auger. So I put all of my fence posts I put in with that. I'm borrowing this from my friend, by the way. This is how I sprayed out the Jadam microbial solution.